Thank you for sending me this great comment. Now, the interesting thing about the U.S. stock market is, yes, it depends somewhat on monetary policy, but I believe it depends more on demographics. Let me explain. You see, I believe that demographics are the key to understanding the economy. Since World War II, the baby boomer generation has gone through various cycles. As you'll notice, as it was growing up, there was demand for housing. Then, when they came of age, rock and roll and those kind of things moved well. Into middle age, it was all about getting the right job and buying that first house. Now, with the baby boomers retired, it's all going to be about return. And so many of the growth companies that we counted on in the last 20 years may not have as good a bright a future. You see, as of 2020, the baby boomers made up the second largest generation in the United States, about 21.45%. The largest generation is currently the millennial generation, but the millennial generation has far less spending power than the baby boomer generation. And this is going to drive the economy probably for the next 10 years. You see, the baby boomers still have the wealth, and that is a very key thing. Most of the baby boomers are starting to retire and are much more concerned on things like health care and spending. So, unfortunately, we are not probably going to be able to get spending under control in this country until the millennials come up in terms of size. And this is going to be weak because they're so indebted with other expenses such as educational expenses. So, my guess is, and at least in the near future, many of the stronger growth companies that didn't produce real profits are going to be in trouble, whereas the companies that provide dividends and those kind of things are probably going to move and be stronger, at least in the near-term future. At least in the near-term future, the Federal Reserve is going to have to tighten monetary supply because of inflation. We're going to have to move the inflation. We're going to have to move the rates on the Treasury bills up. This will cause money to be pushed into government spending, and that's precisely why the baby boomers are so significant. As the baby boomers age and retire, there will be much more demand for government spending. So I don't see, at least in the near future, a very good situation. We're going to see taxes go up, we're going to also see inflation go up, and we're going to see real wealth go down, at least probably for the next 5 years. That said, there is going to be more demand for certain kind of goods. I believe, for instance, there's going to be tremendous demand for single-family homes, especially in areas that have lower median ages, such as the Houston area in Texas. But I think overall, it's going to be difficult investing in growth companies that don't make any profits. So right now, my preference is to companies that are engaged in hard assets and that have actual earnings. Those are the companies that I'm most interested in during this period of time.